So I have one more look that I want to do with this palette for this week. We'll be using it again, but I'll go back to kind of switching it up. But I want to do one more look. I want to use this shade again and this shade, and I can't decide which one I want to use here. I really like that cool toned. I feel like this one looks more cool toned in the pan, but it is actually really, really warm, the base of it. Still very, very transparent. So I think we'll use the more cool tone one, but we'll get to that in a minute. So listen, do you trust me? Because the white base is coming out. I know some of you haven't been here that long. And I know some of you have been with me a very long time and y'all know to trust the process, but this is going to be absolutely frightening. Some might even say feral before fabulous. So this right here is Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in the shade White. And what I need you to do, because this is going to be a really great demonstration of how much needs to be on the brush. You see that right there? That's too much. It's important. So I'm just going to wipe it off in the lid. Just kind of tap it. Look how much just came off. Right there. You see how much was on there? So much. Now you can see where we need to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from my lash line. And I will say that this brush I'm using here, Rose & Bend Beauty C31, it's absolutely perfect for applying this type of base, because this kind of base needs to be even and smooth and thin. So I love this one for very small amounts of concealer underneath the eye, correctors, anything that needs to be very thin. That's what this brush is fantastic for. Now let's talk about why I'm using a white eyeshadow base. And whenever you want your eyeshadows to look the exact way they do in the pan. So my skin tone is, I'm gonna say right at medium right now. I'm really, really tan. So that, my undertone, the shade of my skin, all of that, that is going to change the way that this looks. So just for a really nice visual, I'm gonna swatch the color that we're gonna use. I'm gonna swatch it here. And then we're gonna watch this as I put this on my eye. This is gonna be a really good visual. And I know you're thinking, well, Rose, I am a very dark skin tone. I'm not gonna be able to use white eyeshadow base. What I'm about to show you, you're absolutely gonna be able to. Any skin tone can use white eyeshadow base. And the reason why is because it gets completely covered. This is gonna be cleaned up. This is gonna be cleaned up, and we don't need to take it all the way to the brow bone. You know what I was just thinking? I remember paying so much money just to tune in to master classes that did not go even this much into depth like we do here every single day for free. I remember those master classes, and they are such talented artists, and I would never name names, and they are absolutely wonderful. But I remember I would pay astronomical amounts of money just to sit in to watch this, and I would be told, now we're gonna place bronzer here, and not even direct it, just put it on. And that's one of the reasons I dedicate so much time. You know, I'm dedicating my life, part of my day to this, but I wanted to learn so much, and I never got what I wanted. So that's part of the reason I do what I do. So if we do want to be able to wear this on any skin tone, we're gonna have to stop that white base right there. And then I'm gonna grab Sheila. Here's our beautiful Sheila. She was actually recently washed, believe it or not. She's been with me a long time. She's an icon. Now I have my foundation on that same C31. I'm not gonna worry about cleaning it up as much first, but what I am gonna do is start to transition this together. And don't worry if it gets here, it's supposed to transition. Remember, there's still gonna be eyeshadow, but this just makes sure that we don't have a white brow bone, which sometimes I like a white brow bone, it's a look, but this is a really good way to just be able to make this a lot more wearable, a lot more everyday. Look at how smooth that is. Fun, right? Okay, so I was recording it and then it wouldn't upload. Man. And then I was filming this for TikTok. But what I did is I grabbed this shade right here, grab it on one side, and I just pressed it here towards the inner part, and then I pressed it on the outer part. I was gonna layer it up anyways. And then that product side towards the ceiling. I talk about that a lot because a lot of times we feel like we need to reach for so many different brushes when we don't. If we just use the brushes on different sides, we have a lot more control, and you don't have to grab 4 different brushes for one eye. Okay, so let's just keep packing that on, still using the side, kind of pushing it in there. Now this is the part where I feel most of us would be like, what have I done? What is this path that I have chosen? Don't fear, what I'm doing, I'm just wiping my brush off on Sheila. It's not wet. I'm just gonna take the side of the brush now and we're gonna start to smooth. Just tap out that top part. I'm gonna create a transition. Don't worry if the lid space gets a little too messy. We can just add a little bit more base later, but we do wanna kind of keep it a little bit clean, just a little bit, just to remember where we're going to clean it up later, because we're gonna do a little bit of a spotlight eye. That's already looking smoother. Now let's grab this shade. I know, terrifying, but just stick with me here. We're gonna grab this shade and this is gonna go on our brow bone. Notice that I focus it mainly there, and then with what's left, I'm just gonna transition and smooth all of this together. That top part, and bring it over this way as well. Look how smooth that is. It's so pretty. Same thing over here. So before I start to finish it, do you see how much more cool tone this is because of that white base? And how my undertones are even making this warmer and even a little bit more pink. So it's really interesting if you look at it. And I don't want things to intimidate y'all. That's why I use things like white eyeshadow base, because I have faith in you. You can do this. It's a little scary at first, but when you use the right techniques, it's not going to be scary at all. Again, this is going to be completely cleaned up. That's going to be gone. And you're just going to see that eyeshadow is true as it is here. Even the color of my eyelid, the pink in my eyelid, the veins in my eyelid can change this color and make it just look more brown, just more warm. That looks so much more warm. So it's really interesting, right? I love makeup. Now let's touch up the center with just a tiny, tiny amount of the base. Doesn't have to be perfect. Done. Using the C31 again, the same one that we used. Okay, put on your makeup seatbelts. No words are needed. None of them. Grab it on a C30. I grabbed this shade. There we go. I always pick up quite a bit of the shimmer. And then we're gonna take this and just press and pull it across the lid. And that base is gonna grab all of that shimmer, and then we'll kind of just pull it all around the lid or the center of the lid. Isn't it fun? Look at how much warmer this is. Now that definitely we have the shimmers on there, that white base makes such a difference. Such a difference. And we'll start to clean it up. But you know what I'm in the mood for? Listen, I'm in the mood for gel liner, black gel liner, and I want to grab an E26. I love this gel liner, and I just bought a new one. Gel liner's fun, and I haven't used it in a long time. So this gel liner here is from Pretty Vulgar. It's been one of my faves for many years. I've bought this probably 3 times now. I'm talking over the past 7, 8 years, maybe even 10 years. I don't know where the time's going. I don't want to talk about it. It's also important for you to know that I scooped it out here on my, I still have foundation, we're fine. It's dry by now, but I scooped it out and I have it on my E26, but you're gonna see me really even it out on the brush. I wanna make sure it's nice and even. This brush is so little. Will it focus? Will it? It's trying its best. But yes, just really nice and even across the E26. Now we're gonna hold it pretty far back. I'm not gonna go too in detail about wing liner. I do quite often. I will again soon, but I'm gonna angle this upwards. And then I'm just going to connect it. Now we can start to fill it in. I'm gonna grab some more. Just always make sure that your liner's even on the brush. I feel like that's something that sabotages us. We don't realize how much product we've picked up, and then it just gets out of control. This brush really does pick up a nice amount, and it's bent. It makes wing liner so much easier. I feel like there's a very specific wing that this brush creates, and it's my favorite kind of wing. It might not be your favorite, but I love an angle brush, especially this one, because it just creates a very specific shape that I can't get with my liquids. And I love all different shapes. Don't ever think I'm saying I only like one shape. I love everything, but this to me is just such a classic wing on my eye shape, and I just love it. I love it from every angle. So I have micellar water here, and this is that same brush that we used for our lid color. And we'll just kind of clean that up. So I'm going to finish my face off camera. And the reason why is because I'm starting a basics series. And I want to do a bunch of videos. I'm cleaning off lashes. I want to do a bunch of videos on just the most basic ideas of makeup, because I feel we're all starting somewhere. I feel like there's new people getting into makeup every day, no matter their age. So I think that'll be a really good series. And if you want to give me some ideas, that would be really, really cool. Is there anything maybe you're still struggling with? Because I don't think of these things. At this point, I am out here trying to paint myself from here to here and then add rhinestones. So if y'all want to give me some ideas, that'd be great. I also want to film my how to pick a highlighter again, because I feel like my lighting is just so much better now and you can actually see true color. The color temperature wasn't right in that. So I think I'm going to refilm that. I'm really excited for that. Very excited. So I'm going to grab these big old floofers. Look at these, aren't they gorgeous? I know that they're not for everyone, but for me, I just find them so much fun every once in a while. Minus the Jean Bean hair. Ooh, that's fun. All right, I'm gonna hop off, but I will be back. I don't know where I'm gonna be in that. I really need to film a few things, and please forgive me. Normally I do the full tutorial, and if you want any more references, please check my recent posts. I have so many good recent posts that are so helpful. Check my saved highlights. There's just always so much information, and I'm reposting a couple of my videos, and I am finding out that so many of you have missed my most important posts. So while I'm doing this, maybe just go do a little scroll and look through and learn something. All right, I'll be back in a little while. I'm feeling extra spicy, so I want to do a black waterline. Oh yes, that's the spice that I needed. And then what I like to do, instead of coming from underneath, I'll just kind of pull a little bit of that into my lash line. I'm going, which you'd better be able to really see. You can even like look down and just kind of pull it out of the lash line a little bit. It's a lot easier than coming from underneath, because when we come from underneath, we can apply way too much under there. This is a really good way to do it. Then we're gonna grab an E27, this little spicy number, and we're gonna grab that first shade that we laid down. Let me zoom you in, out here in the boonies. And I'm just gonna press that and smudge. And it's just gonna add a little bit of depth to the lash line. That black is that we had on there. That's so smooth and pretty. Look how brown my eye looks now. Ooh. Oh, I will tell you the blush because I don't think I mentioned the blush. And I'm going to tell you because I want y'all to go get it. It's so pigmented and I feel like it would just show up on a whole array of skin tones. And it's absolutely gorgeous and you can just build it up, sheer it out. This particular color, it's just chef's kiss. I do have a code ROSE if you want to use it. I love it and it's so affordable. It's so affordable. Get this. Also, what I'm going to post tonight, you're kind of getting a first look at. Apparently, I'm one of the first to receive it. You know what? I am still in awe that I get to do what just gives me butterflies, what just brings me so much joy. I get to do this every single day. And then I have these brands that see that my consistency and how much I love this, and they choose me. They choose me to show these things first. And I just, I don't think I'll ever get over it. I'll get a little emotional. We're gonna calm down. Okay, it's time for lipstick. Inner corner highlight for days. Zoom in. E27. Let's tap that on there. Ooh. Peach and gray are actually two of my favorite colors together. Okay, but hang on. Don't you run away. Don't you go, don't you log out. Before we move on, a lot of you asked me, how do you know how to pair lipsticks? Do you know a really good way to do this? It's gonna be easier than you think. Go look at some of your favorite patterns, some of your favorite paintings, some of your favorite clothes. And I remember I had a shirt and it was peach and gray. And I just thought it was the prettiest thing ever. And those colors went together so well. And I remember that. I remember that every time I do my makeup, peach and gray, they go together. So just go look at color combinations that you really, really like and put them together. Now to really cool this down, we're gonna grab Endless Cacao and we're still not done. And also sometimes the things I do, you might not like, but I enjoy them and I would never tell you that I didn't like something. So if you don't like it, I promise I'll probably do something else that you might like. But as an artist, sometimes I love things that might be a little outlandish, a little different. But we are gonna blend this a lot more. Okay, we're done. All done. Did we learn something today? I hope we learned something. I am going to hop off and I'm gonna go edit the video that I filmed. One of the, I think I filmed like 5. I'm out of control. I love it. I love what I do. I love helping and I love you. Let me just hop off now because I'll sit here and want to chat with you, but let me go hop off because I want to post it before 7. I love you so much and I'll see you in the comments tonight. That's not pink.
Soft pink where?
It's
Let me
yellow.
open it up.
Sam, why is it yellow?
Pink.
But hang on, it's been reformulated. Now that is pink. For reference, here's the Givenchy, and here is the new Kylie. That's pink. It originally was pink, and then it wasn't pink, and now it's pink again. It's a mystery, but let's put it on. All right, let's pick it up on our puff, even it out on the back of our hand, and let's just go to town here. It's beautiful. I remember absolutely loving the formula. Look how smoothing. I'm just glad it's actually pink again. Let's set this side too. I love it. I think y'all are gonna see it all the time now. I turned beauty mode on so you know I'm not using it. Now it's back off. This is beautiful. And now it's actually pink.